I know you already know how much of a sweetheart the Eiffel Tower is to tourists. All year round, tourists visit the iconic structure. But believe me, that is not the only fun thing to do in Paris. There are several other things you can do to have an amazing time in Paris. Stay with me while we discover the top 10 things to do in Paris. Number 10. Stroll through Le Marais. Nothing beats the therapeutic feeling of strolling in the charming Le Marais neighborhood. The neighborhood has a rich Jewish heritage, lots of historic medieval architecture, and several boutiques. Art galleries also line it up, and its vibrant LGBTIA+ makes it an even more colorful place to be. You can even do a food tour of the neighborhood where you get to have a taste of the tasty foods prepared in the neighborhood, and believe me, they make some of the best falafel. It is the best place to head to for a night out and to get your Paris experience kick-started. Number 9. Relax at Luxembourg Gardens. Spread across 55 acres of land, the well-manicured Luxembourg Gardens is a charming place to be. It is the heart of Paris and is a great place to unwind, admire nature, and allow the Parisian atmosphere to seep into your bones. Much of its beauty is down to the beautifully arranged flower beds, very tall trees, and the iconic Luxembourg Palace, which overlooks the gardens. The garden also has lawn bowling and chess areas, which you should make sure to check out. It is a traveler's favorite, and you can also learn about the park's rich history from the accommodating locals. Number 8. Visit the Sainte-Chapelle, one of the finest buildings in France. The Sainte-Chapelle is an architectural wonder. It is a royal chapel built by Louis IX in the mid-13th century. Its original purpose was to house the relics of the Passion of Christ, and for many years, it has also housed King Louis IX's most prized religious artifacts, such as Jesus' crown of thorn and the image of Edessa. Adorned with a collection of stained glass windows and an exceptional rose window which forms a wall of light, the chapel is one magnificent sight you should behold. Number 7. Go on a tour of Musée d'Orsay. Are there any art lovers in the building? Well, I have something special for you guys. The Musée d'Orsay is one place I'm sure y'all will enjoy a lot. It sits pretty in a former railway station and is beautiful inside and out. What makes it special? Its fantastic collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art, which is one of the largest in the world. And make sure not to miss the famous clock face, which is a popular part of the museum's examination. Don't worry, I'll not play spoilers, so I'll allow you to find out yourself how fun Musée d'Orsay can be. Oh, and try to beat the crowds and enjoy a quieter museum experience by visiting in the morning. Number 6. Go see the Mona Lisa and other amazing artworks at the Louvre Museum. The Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in history, and I'm sure you would love to gaze upon the famous artwork. Well, the iconic masterpiece is contained in the Louvre Museum, Paris. The museum has an astonishing art collection, which comprises works from different centuries and a diverse range of artistic styles. You can find Egyptian artifacts there and several other iconic stuff. It also possesses the bragging rights of being an architectural masterpiece. With a majestic glass pyramid and very fine facades, a visit to the Louvre is an indication that you love to feed your senses with good sights. No way you can have a complete Paris experience without basking in its breathtaking atmosphere, so make sure to add it to your itinerary right away. Number 5. Learn to bake French croissant with a pastry chef. Making your own nibble croissants and pains au chocolat is one of the ways to truly enjoy Paris. Trust me, nothing beats the feeling of making them by yourself. You can register for a hands-on pastry class at a professional kitchen. Some are listed in central Paris. For a little fee, you get to learn from the chief instructor, the step-by-step hacks to making the perfect dough and homemade treats ultimately. It is also a money-saving hack. Or don't you think so? I mean, it helps you stop spending money on buying them from stores. You're welcome. Number 4. Cruise across the Seine River. You would hardly come across any river with a more impressive name. La Seine. This huge river divides the city of Paris cleanly into two. You can go on a tour of the river, which is an opportunity to see all the main attractions of the city. If you think visiting during the day is exciting, then you need to take the River Seine at night. It is mind-blowingly beautiful at night. This is when the Paris lights light up the city and the river too. If you happen to be with a lover or romantic partner, I recommend a night walk across the Seine. Will do you both a lot of good. Number 3. Explore the Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Paris. You must have read or heard about the story of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That story, written by Victor Hugo, was inspired by this cathedral. Constructed in the 12th century and named Notre Dame Cathedral Paris, which translates to Our Lady of Paris, this cathedral is the perfect representation of French Gothic architecture. The cathedral has a grand exterior framed by a magnificent pair of bell towers, stained windows, and grand statues. Within the cathedral, you will find neo-Gothic artwork and furniture and some other fine stuff. The cathedral has played host to several events of historical importance, and you wouldn't regret paying it a visit. Number 2. Tour the Parc des Princes Stadium. This stadium needs no introduction to football and rugby fans. It has been the home of Paris Saint-Germain FC since 1974. It is the home ground of the French national rugby union team, too. Although it has undergone a few renovations, it is no less of a beauty. A tour of it would involve 3 stages. Firstly, the stadium tour is where you find out what it is like to walk out of the tunnel for a massive UEFA Champions League game. Yes, the Institute of Research and Coordination in Acoustics Music has made this possible. Secondly, the next stage of your tour would be exploring the history of PSG prior to 2011. How is this possible? Well, there are videos and replays of the greatest moments in PSG history playing out, and you can spend a few minutes of your time watching this. Lastly, the VR arcade, a big fan favorite. You strap on the VR equipment and the next moment you're having a very immersive experience that will leave you satisfied. Number 1. Spend a day at the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower comes to mind at the mention of Paris. It is the most popular monument in France, and boy, is it worth the hype. It was completed in 1889, and you know what? Parisians didn't like it at first. Crazy, right? Now it is a symbol of French civic pride and an iconic structure. The view from the tower is incredible. You can also have something at the bar on the first level while watching the scenery. It's in a bubble with heaters, so you can enjoy it throughout the year. This is my favorite part of visiting Paris, and it is perfect for a honeymoon too. You will visit it at least once in your lifetime.